Look at this dude.
Whoosh, everybody, welcome back to another video. Hey man, if you haven't already, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel, smash the like button, click that bell while you're at it so you can be a part of the Post Noti gang family, best family on YouTube. No cap, hands down. Hey man, we are here for Ray William Johnson. This cop went insane and started killing. What the actual fuck? We're gonna do less talking, more reacting. Let's dive right into this video. Let's go.
Do you remember when that ex-cop went insane and like murdered a bunch of other cops?
I don't remember this, but he murdered other cops?
Now the cop's name is Chris, and Chris is around 28 years old when this story starts, living in Los Angeles, and he is a police officer who seems to love his job. In fact, it seems like all bro wants to do is be a cop. But one day in 2007, the worst thing ever happens to him. After all this hard work and
he got fired, huh?
Training he put into being an officer, he ends up getting fired. He had apparently lied about a report against a fellow officer or something. And so Chris, he
lied on another officer's name. Interesting.
Not take this well. Like, he's super pissed off about the whole thing, and
But my question is, did he get so pissed off because he was telling the truth and so happened that the officer he was putting the write-up on or whatever was lying but somehow got out of it? I mean, I could understand that making someone super angry, but not to the point to where you got to go out killing. You feel me? But
he is not going to let them get away with that. So he goes and he gets an attorney, and he tries to get the Los Angeles Superior Court to overturn his firing. But unfortunately for him, the court upholds the police department's decision. He then appeals that decision, and the appeals court rules against him too. And we're in like 2011 at this point, so
bruh, it's time to just find a new career, brother.
He's been fighting this for years, but he just can't get anyone to agree with him that he was fired unfairly. So over time, his anger and his rage at the police department continues to build. Until one day in 2013, he finally just snaps. He decides to not only get revenge on the Los Angeles Police Department, but he wants to unalive basically any police officer he comes across.
And this happened in LA? I'm surprised I didn't hear about this before, bruh.
Like, he's mad at every cop in existence. And so he comes up with a plan, and he gets to work on this plan. First, he writes a whole-ass manifesto, and it's kind of long, it's 11,000 words, and in it, he talks about the kinds of people he wants to unalive.
Damn, he really planned this out, and the fact that he took 11,000 words, he was passionate about this. I ain't gonna lie.
He also calls out specific people he's gonna try and unalive by name, along with calling out their families. In fact, he specifically names 40 people by name. And like, imagine being named in some crazy person's manifesto. Like, that is some scary shit. But anyway, about a week later, he officially leaves the Navy. He was a lieutenant in the Navy Reserves. He was also a marksman, which makes him very competent at shooting, which makes him very dangerous. So then,
so he had a lot of skills up his sleeve, bruh.
2 days after that, Chris finally goes after his first target, the adult daughter of one of the police captains from his old job.
Bro, nothing. And like, if you feel some type of way about the police department, it is what it is. I feel you know, but you're going after their kids. That's code on the streets as well. When you in the streets, bro, you don't go after the kids and the family, bro. If you got beef with someone, that's between you and that person and whoever they associated with type ish when it comes to being in the streets, but you don't go after kids and family, bro.
So he takes a rifle and he goes to the captain's daughter's apartment complex, and there he sees her there in the parking garage sitting in her car with her fiance. And he doesn't need to get close to them because remember, he's a marksman. And so he just aims his rifle from afar, I guess, and blam, blam, he unalives them both. Then his crazy ass takes that 11,000 word manifesto and he posts it on his Facebook page for everyone to see.
Oh, he wants to get caught. If anything, I don't know what happened in the story, but I won't be surprised by the time we get to the end of this story with Ray. He probably unalived himself as well by the end of this, bruh. He went out with a bang. You feel me?
So then everyone sees that he's upset at the police department for treating him unfairly or whatever, and they see the list of names he plans on getting revenge on, and also in it he admits that he had just unalived the captain's daughter and her fiance. So of course now everyone knows not only that he just shot 2 people, but that he has a list of 40 more people he's gonna go after.
Man, I'd be scared. Listen, if my name was on that bid, I'd go and hide it.
So I'm sure everyone is freaking out at this point. And the police are like, yeah, we can't let that happen. We gotta find this guy. And they go and they publicly name Chris as the prime suspect in the murders of the captain's daughter. And by this point, Chris, he's already fled. He's fled from Los Angeles all the way down to San Diego. And there,
that's not that far. That's what, a 2-hour drive?
There he hides out in a hotel.
Man, I would've, before making that, oh no, he wants to stay close because he wants to go after the other 40 people.
And he contemplates his next move. And here is where things really start to go off the rails. Because this is where Chris goes on a killing spree. A few days after checking into the hotel,
I can only imagine how crazy things was back in 2007, because I was a young kid, bro. But
he leaves. I mean, he knows police are onto him, and he doesn't want them to find him yet. So he goes to, I guess, the nearby marina.
I wasn't even a young kid thinking about it. I was, what, 12? I think I was 12, yeah.
And there he finds a yacht, and he tries to hijack it at gunpoint. But when he goes to untie the boat, he throws the rope into the water, and that rope gets caught in the boat's motor, and it fucks up the
That's called karma, bruh. That's the universe working against you.
Motor. So he has to ditch that plan. A few hours later, he's driving in his pickup truck, because he's gonna go shoot a guy, the next target on his manifesto list. And suddenly, a police car starts following him. Chris then notices, stops his truck, gets out, and blam, blam, he starts firing his rifle at them. And then he gets back into his truck and he speeds away. 20 minutes after that, 2 more police officers are stopped at a red light. And suddenly, Chris ambushes them with his rifle. And blam, blam, he wounds one of them and he unalives the other. So at this point, we're at
so now, like, not only does he have his targets in mind that he's wanting to get, but he's also killing people that's not on the list of people that he's trying to get.
A red alert. I mean, he shot a bunch of people and he unalived a few, and he's targeting cops specifically. And so, as you can imagine, police all over California are now looking for him. I mean, this has become an all-hands-on-deck, full-on manhunt. And so, later that morning, police around the Big Bear Mountain area,
At this point, there is no running from him, bruh. For him to run, bro, you can't run. You are now one of the most wanted people probably in the whole America, bro. Like, you are definitely the most wanted in Cali, but I'm talking about the whole U.S. You are the most wanted person, bro.
Find an abandoned, burned out truck in the woods that's the same model as Chris's. So they know it's his. I mean, he must be in the area. And so immediately, they shut the whole area down. The local ski resort gets shut down, all the nearby schools go on lockdown, and the sheriff's deputies and SWAT teams are literally going door to door searching for any sign of Chris.
A manhunt is underway in Southern California, and the Los Angeles Police Department is under siege. 10,000 law enforcement officers are conducting door-to-door searches for one of their own.
About 2 days later...
That's crazy. Like I said, I was about 12 years old when this took place. I'm surprised I didn't hear about this, because I lived in San Diego, by the way, and I was always going back and forth from LA to San Diego because I used to skate when I was younger. So I used to go to LA to, like, the skate parks and stuff like that, but damn.
Chris strikes again. He finds a cabin kind of out in the woods, and boom, he forces his way inside. And there's a couple there, and he holds them at gunpoint, and he ties them up, and he steals their SUV, and he flees. Shortly after that, skirt, kaboom, he crashes that SUV.
Once again, that is karma and the universe working against you, my boy.
And he has to ditch it and run away on foot. A few hours later, Chris then carjacks a random man and he steals his truck and he takes off. And as he's driving, 2 state wildlife officers spot him driving down the highway and they start following him. Then a bunch of cops...
Not only, you got the wildlife enforcement coming after you now too, bruh. Talk about a manhunt.
And other law enforcement officers from different agencies, they all start chasing him. And so Chris veers the truck off the road and jumps out and he runs away into the woods. And the cops, they all follow right after him. And so now he's got all these
He's gonna kill himself.
officers and law enforcement chasing after him. And blam, 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 he fires at them and he hits 2 sheriff's deputies. I mean, this is getting out of control. However, here's where Chris starts to screw up. He runs up to, I guess, a random cabin. Here's actually a picture of it. And here he barricades himself inside and he's safe from the gunfire. But he's also trapped. And police, they're not going to let him escape. And so the officers, they all surround the cabin. And Chris, he still thinks he can
Like I said, he about to shoot himself. Guaranteed, y'all.
get out of this. And so blam, blam, he's still shooting at them. And they're shooting back. And so they're all stuck in one big standoff. Because Chris, he's not coming out. And so police, they're all yelling at him to surrender, like, surrender, Chris! But Chris is like, nah! And so police, they use an armored vehicle to knock down the walls of the cabin.
Damn.
And so then Chris, he goes and he hides
Shout out to the owner that owns the cabin. Hopefully you got some good insurance on that.
in the basement. So now he's really trapped. Then police shoot tear gas canisters into what's left of the cabin, thinking that they can smoke him out. But then the canisters accidentally catch the whole cabin on fire. So now
Don't tell me he burned alive, bruh.
this cabin is going up in flames. And I guess Chris finally sees that there's no way out of this alive, and he unalives himself.
Knew it.
And
That was definitely a given. I'm not gonna lie. Someone like that with that type of mentality and that going insane like that, they're not in their right mind to surrender, bro. They're definitely gonna off themselves. But damn, whoever owned that cabin, rest in peace to the cabin, bro. If y'all made it to the end, I do greatly appreciate it. Smash the like button, leave a comment, click that bell while you're at it. Till next time, I'm gonna see y'all next time. I'm out.